Hello everyone, I am Leena-Maria Markkanen from ILON AKATEMIA, and I have this great possibility to interview Anette Carlström, who is a world-known speaker and author, and she speaks about the development of consciousness. Annette, this is just a great joy to have you here in Finland. Thank you so much and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Leena.
Love to have you here. Well, you have been writing 2 books and now you are writing the 3rd one. Tell us about it.
Yes, I've always been interested in development of consciousness ever since I was a little girl, and I'm brought up in an academic, more scientific family. But I was always interested in the spiritual aspect of the inside of a human being. And I always wondered, why would you have to believe in such a power? Isn't something you should know? So from that perception, I've been wanting to find and discover a way that even a regular person could discover that presence of stillness within, without having to belong to any particular system or tradition or religion or philosophical path. So that's been my such a strong passion from my heart to find. And this 3rd book is about combining the new science that have come up about development of consciousness in what traditional ancient knowledge have been existing for thousands of years, to combine the two, to make us in this modern time discover how we can align our heart and our brain with the intelligence of this universe, with the intelligence of life, to make it into practical use in our daily life, in our business, in our family, in both our work and our private life. How can we live with the presence of peace and joy in our lives without having to belong to a particular system? Is it possible for each human being to discover their own way of alignment? Because we all have a brain, we all have a heart, no matter where you live on this planet, we all seem to have these organs within us. And how about if we align them? What we discussed earlier about the mindfulness.
Yes.
That now we are moving more into the heart, to include the heart into the heartfulness, and not excluding the brain and the intelligence and the intellect, but to actually align the two together. So that's what I'm exploring. It's very exciting, this book, to write it from that perception, and how can we help a regular person discover peace within without having to go through some strange terminology, because it should be available for everyone. That's how I feel.
Wow. Could you call it a shift of consciousness, or how would you call it?
That's a good expression. A shift in consciousness would imply that you actually change your perception.
Yes.
Because in this way of looking at life, you don't have to change everything in life. That's such a big job to try to change everything around you. Instead, if you try to align yourself with what is actually there, you would have automatically a change in perception. And that would create a shift in consciousness, where you automatically, from a neurobiological perception, you would experience life in a different way. So my way of looking at this is not a psychological process alone. It seems to be involving also the neurobiological wiring of our brain, as it's appearing that our heart is sending signals to the brain, who is then creating our picture of reality. So if our heart is not all right, then that would send signals, and in that way we perceive reality as stressful, as fearful, and so on. Yes. So it's about really a shift in consciousness of accepting the heart and balancing the heart into our reality.
Yes. I have been a trainer of well-being personally and well-being at work for 20 years now. And I have discovered that people are very, very tired, and they are waiting for a new technique or new method all the time. Recently I talked to a manager of human resources and she said that would there be a new method for me and for my organization, because we are stuck. And is this a new era to find something totally new? You are talking about heart, and I have this feeling that people are so much in their head, in their rational thinking, and they are trying to find the conclusion and solve their problems with their mind all the time. And if you are not having your heart with your mind, it won't work. I've seen it. It just hasn't been working. And when you find your heart, you change your perception, like you said from your mind to your heart. Is it like being whole then? You are with the people and with business, with all your issues. There's wholeness then, and you understand better. Is it this that you are talking about?
Well, I believe in the simplicity of life. I believe that we don't need to have a lot of complicated techniques. It's about discovering your truth, what is actually here, present in the moment. And that's available to everyone. The more simple you can make a guidance into your own stillness. It's so obvious that we have this connection, but we forget. We seem to run around like chicken without a head, just trying to put as much as possible into our lives, and we forget that we have some kind of vertical alignment, isn't it? We have our feet are walking on the ground, on the earth, and we have a heart and we have a brain, and we are here in this universe. And that is the simpleness of just being in the now, being present with what is here, and to allow yourself for a few moments, a few minutes every day to just digest being here. It's so simple, really. And in the old days, it was a natural way of being in life. You know, towards the evening, people sat down and they had a fireplace and they just relaxed, being together. But today, society is developing in such rapid pace that we don't have time for assimilation. So the simpleness of just being in stillness would make a huge shift in your perception, where you can also include the heart and the brain and the intelligence of the heart that would align you with intelligence of life.
It feels so good listening to this, because it is so simple. And I love this thought about alignment. Your feet and your heart and your brain, you need your brain. And then again, you have your hands to work, to do good things in your personal life and at your work. So practical. And only you start listening to your heart. Would it be someday that in the workplaces people would start their work day just by listening to their heart for 2 minutes together, or alone or together, listening to their heart, and after that start working? Would the day be different?
Yes, it's been shown in studies that if you were to just take a few moments of silence before you would start any kind of work, it would increase the creativity, it would increase the productivity of the company. It also increases the relationship with the employees of a company, so that the wear and tear of conflicts within the employees would be omitted, would not have to happen, where it would just benefit both the individuals and the companies at large, which would then also affect society at large. So it is just a win-win situation no matter how you look at this. So I believe, definitely like you say, it's the way of the future. And I believe the coming generation, if we are not doing it, then for sure they will go, we have to make a change, because we want to feel happiness in our lives. We want to experience joy in our lives. And the way that society has it set up, we need to stop and look at where are we going with this. And it's not about stopping technology and the wonderful things that we are discovering. It's about us enjoying this process, all these wonderful things that our world is bringing to us. If we can enjoy it and have happy people on this earth, it will bring about, I believe, even more creativity, and to find ways for all beings to be happy on this planet. At least that is my passion from the heart, to help this planet and the people who live here to be happy and live in peace.
Would it be like finding joy to serve through your work, whatever you are doing in your life? The joy to serve when you have your heart with you.
Yes, the joy to serve. I mean, that's what you discover when the heart awakens to the connection between the brain and the heart. You start perceiving life and reality and the relationships in a different way. You start experiencing the very joy it is to give another, to give to life, as it automatically brings something back to you. So it's that win-win situation of the heart, bringing that into creativity of life.
Oh, thank you. Greatly said.